Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Foxchair, on the show this evening. It's a one and only GB, a legend that is Port Bear, and my big mucker, the bridge. How are we doing, gentlemen?
Very well, Ox. I hope you are all well. Welcome to the young team tonight. the free stand-ins.
You'll get done under the Trades Conscription Act.
What's you got to say about it? That's terrible saying that about Port Bear. No, he was a young team, Port Bear.
Evening, Bridge.
Good evening, Oxshare. I just say it's magic to be on. And good evening to your team, the tech team in the background, and Gaz and Port Bear. Really looking forward to tonight's show. As I say to all the Rangers fans all over the world that are listening in here tonight, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Evening, Port. He's in a huff because you've got him, GB.
Because I've invited him into this young team show tonight, but I'm sure he'll be back soon.
Young team.
Aye, good luck, sure. I remember I was part of the original young team a few years ago.
A decade ago, mate. So you don't fit in anymore.
Aye, good. Interesting week in football in terms, you know. I know you've discussed it, the highs of the Batiste match and then the incredible lows and the Motherwell match. But, you know, we've got a big cup game coming up, mate. And if you win that, it's 3 in a row in a win streak, mate. So, you know, we're still winning games, although we're not playing very good.
I know you went to a different school for me, but you'll find that before in a row.
All right. Calm yourself down.
Right, how are you, Bridge?
I'm doing well, thank you very much. Really well. I'm a bit disappointed, to say the least. I'm a bit disappointed in the performance again at the weekend, but we're living in thin ice at the moment. So just need to see what's going to happen because I can't see it going on like this. But there you go.
Before we move on, obviously we don't want to dissect the game again, Bridge, because we don't want everybody getting a razor blades out again. But just give your thought as a guy with a certain vintage, and I'll go to you then, GB. Get your thoughts on the situation we find ourselves in. Bridge, man.
Well, for me, I've said it a number of times in the very recent past. It's a disgrace that we're in this position. I don't know what the board are thinking. Look, they didn't lose, but for the fans to be booing our team at the end of the game, it's just unacceptable. Not from the fans, but from the board perspective. They can't allow the fans to be booing the players off the park. It's just no right. Don't get me wrong, if we were rotten and blah, 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 yes, it'll happen. But no, they need to do something about it from their end. Just don't go into the fans for booing, go into the rest of it and get it sorted out, because it was pitiful at times in that game. And I don't know what they were thinking, the way they were playing Mr. Beale and his squad. I don't know what he was thinking. I really don't. But the fans, certainly, they're not buying it anyway. And that's for sure.
GB, are we too harsh? We won this game, we've got loads of injuries, we're coming back for an energy-sapping European game. Are we too harsh?
Ox, do you know something? I think if the game hadn't started the way it did and it didn't end the way it did, then I think most fans would have probably gave them a bit of slack. You know what I mean? We grinding out a 1-0 result, because there was kind of moments we could have probably got the second goal, but I think, like I say, just see the way the game kind of flipped for Motherwell near the end and stuff like that, and we were holding on to a 1-0 lead at home, and some of the play and some of the slip passing. I think the fans needed to show their frustration, and I think that's what they've done at full time, mate. I think they were just showing frustration. I don't think anybody was disappointed with the 1-0 result. I think they were just really annoyed to see another lacklustre performance.
Aye. Port Bear, people say it's always about results. It's a results-driven industry. We've run 3 in a row, and the pressure seems to be mounting, bizarrely.
I know, mate, but last time I was on with you, I touched on the fact I still don't see, a formation. I still don't see a style of play. You take one step forward and we look good against Batiste, we chased, we pressed, we harried, showed a bit of character. And then we looked another 3 steps back last year. And I can't understand where that's coming from, because I was actually excited over the weekend, because I thought, right, let's push on now. Because I did say the other night, if you remember, right, on Thursday, I said, if we don't go out and get a decent result and a decent performance against Motherwell, Thursday night means nothing, because that pushes back to square one. And although we, 3 clean sheets in a row and the performance was good the other night, Oxfordshire, Motherwell looked a better side than us. And I'm going to be real honest, Motherwell looked a better side than us the weekend, mate.
They looked more comfortable on the ball, they looked better coached, and they better shape to them over the 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Ox, I mean, see some of the play, especially that first half with Motherwell, the first kind of 15 minutes, see the way how they were getting out the park, and see like even their forward players, how they took a touch and turned and went and drove towards the keeper to try and hit a shot. I mean, we're actually wanting our players to look like that, how they can turn and beat players and stuff like that and get a shot on target and stuff. And it was quite surprising considering, like I says, how Thursday went. You were hoping for that to be the kind of the spark that would have maybe shoved them out to go, right, we're going to go out and make a statement against Motherwell to show that we are in this title race, we are wanting to be successful this season. But it's again, it's another headache for the manager, because I think even him at the end of it, Ox, was quite scunnered looking. If that's the correct word for him, that he was looking pretty fed up at the end of that game, because I don't think he could really understand why the players would go down that road with the performance.
Bridgeman, we built up to a quarter-final tie at Ibrox. It's a big game. We want to solve it. We want to win the quarter-final, semi-final and the final. So we're down to the bare bones when you look at the forward areas, and the creative areas, if that makes sense. So the team will not be a great surprise to tomorrow night unless he brings in boys.
Yeah, that's the truth. What you're saying is the truth. The thing that surprises me is that the manager gave his after-match thing, and he said he wasn't happy with the team after 1 minute. And I'm thinking, I'm just bamboozled by that, because what is he doing for 89 or 90 minutes or whatever it be, or 94 minutes? What's he doing? Why is he allowing himself to be unhappy with the team and no change it, no do anything? Just amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah, you're right. We've got a huge tie, and of course it's the biggest game of the season coming up tomorrow night. It's huge, just huge. Rangers go through on this. Well, we could see ourselves two games in the cup, and we've won it. So basically 3 games now. I think Rangers will win it all right, but I don't think they'll win it easy. I'll be very surprised if we win it easy anyway, delightfully so. But I think it's going to be a tough game once again. And Rangers are going, the way things are, we're going to have to fight for every single inch of every pitch that we play on. That's what's happening. And it's not because the other teams are better than us. They may turn out to be looking better than us, but it's because we are really, really poor. We're passing games. I think it's shocking.
Would you get these Bridgeman games are murder?
Well, like 1-0 to me, I'm taking 1-0. I've tried to explain it to you before. It's I don't care if we win 5-0 or 1-0. I'll go for the 1-0. Not that I think it's always going to be 1-0, but I'll accept a 1-0. It gets us 3 points, and that's the only reason. The rest of the thing is what we're talking about. The actual performance can be absolute garbage, which it was. And not for the first time, we've been garbage in 1 games. So even when we were great teams, we were rubbish some days, and we managed to fight through, and they got a goal, and we won the game. So that always a pat on the back to the team. They know this team are just very poor by the look of it, consistently. So really watch what we're doing.
How much is the injuries affecting us, Port Bear?
Me, I don't want to use them as an excuse, because even with the players when they were fit in the side, there wasn't much improvement last year. I'm sitting here now and I'm struggling to think from the start of the season, apart from maybe the PSV 2-2 and the Betis game. Tell me a game we dominated and tell me a game we looked good in, even when we had those players on the pitch, mate. I don't want to use them as an excuse. I think right now, and you might think I'm harsh, guys, I think the team looks like a basket case.
I don't think you're alone in these thinkings. I don't think you're alone. Right, I'll tell you what we're doing. We're going to hear from our assistant manager as we build up to tomorrow night's game. We've debated whether we should play this or no, but we usually play the manager's interview. So this is for the club, and we want to hear what Neil Bamford's got to say as we build up to a massive game for us as a support. It's a quarter final and a trophy we want to win. So if you don't mind, get yourself a mute and let's hear from Neil.
Neil, first and foremost, could you just update us on where your squad is at ahead of tomorrow and how you might stack the game, if I put it that way, in terms of balancing the cup commitments in the league?
Well, obviously Ravi's sustained a knee injury. I think he's going to be 6 weeks. But we've got the squad all prepared for tomorrow. He's added onto the injury list, which has come through the games, and it's part of what we've got. And we build the squad for tomorrow, and we go again against Livingston tomorrow night.
How do you view the mood around the club at the moment? Because on face value, the response has been good in terms of results since the setback before the international break. But I think it's fair to say not all of the crowd are being won over by what is on the pitch.
No, it's understandable. You can see it, but I think when you come into these games, these period of games, it's I think it's tough with the players. It's mentally. We had a big result on Thursday, and it's how you get over that, and then you approach the next game. And I think the games have gone well in the results, but obviously we've seen that we got a little bit anxious on Sunday, not getting the second goal, and that does create a little bit of anxiety amongst the team. When we defended well, we won the game, and now we push on to the next to the cup game on Wednesday night.
How do you stop that anxiety in the crowd building up and then it in turn touching on the team?
I think you keep pushing ahead with how we're doing and winning the game, and confidence comes from winning the game and defending well. There's lots of part of the game that we're pleased with. The mentality. I think these games it's a mental tiredness sometimes when you have to prepare. You come in games, you get the game on a Saturday, then after the game you haven't got much time to dwell on it. So it does give you a bit to focus on the next game's coming. So we prepare, we analyse what's gone on. Where we spend a bit of time on looking what went on, and then we prepare for the next game. And I think that's, you get into these cycles for 3-week games, tough mentally for the lads, but the lads are prepared really well and they're really focused on for Wednesday night.
How is Michael dealing with the scrutiny on him? Because there is a bit of focus on him, given the slip-ups early in the season, and he must be aware of that. You must be aware of that, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. We all are. We can't get away from that. But it's. I think when we all came together, I think you see we speak as a group, and you analyse and you're prepared for what's coming and all scenarios. And I think we've prepared for this and we deal with it. And I think, again, with the injuries as well, you know that you built a strong squad, and it's time for players to come into the team, and they take us into the next, hopefully into the semi-final. Great again at Hampden Park, playing another semi-final if we win on Wednesday night.
Neil, it's a sort of strange situation, 3 wins in a row for Rangers, but obviously there's almost a sense of slight unhappiness amongst the fans booing at the final whistle against Motherwell. Has it surprised you, the intensity and the scrutiny that everything is under?
No, I was well versed. Michael told us when we came here what to expect, and I think that comes with the territory when you're such a big club as Rangers. You know, you expect that. You know, and that long as you're working to a format that you know it's going to breed success, and I think that's what we're doing. And then along the way you have going to have bumps along the road, but there's loads of things that build into that. And as I alluded to earlier, it's the 3-game week, and it's not just last week, it's the 3 games before that. I think when we played Servette, we beat Servette, then we beat PSV, we beat Real Betis, all top sides, and you know, it's getting over that and mentally getting prepared for the next game, bringing yourself up to the next game. And I think again against the game on Sunday, I think we won the game and we move on.
Is it fair to say that the team is still searching for its own identity in terms of I guess, the management team knowing the best formation, best selection?
I'm not so sure about selection or formation. I think the squad that we've got, I think, alluding to, it's difficult when you've got 3 games every week. So players, you have to prepare properly. And I think the players that come in and we've got the way we like to play, and the players all come in and are used to the way we're getting to play now. And I think it's, again, we won on Sunday and we move on to the next game, and we want to win in the quarter-final on Wednesday night.
With Celtic out of the competition, obviously Rangers big favourites for the League Cup. In terms of the overall project here, how critical is it that Rangers do win this competition?
I think when you look at it, I think running on 4 competitions, which is great. We had the league last Sunday, then we had Europe in the week, and now we've got the League Cup on Wednesday. It's fantastic. And that's what we all come here for, and that's what we want to be involved in. And we prepare exactly the same as we do every game. And we're focused on winning on Wednesday night and the game ahead, how tough it's going to be for us.
Just finally for me, how close do you feel the team are to gelling and finding that cohesion that I think a lot of fans feel it doesn't have right now?
Well, I think if you look at the game, I think looking at the game, there's certain aspects of the game that you think we could take our opportunities better. But when you look at our 3 clean sheets, the way the team defends and the structure of the team and the way we are playing at times, I think it's coming. It's definitely coming, and I think it's only bodes well for the future.
Do you feel there's added pressure for you to win this competition, given that Celtic are out?
No, there's no added pressure. It's just pressure being at Rangers, isn't it? I think the historical of Rangers of winning trophies, that's what we're about. That's what this big club's all about, is winning trophies. And no matter who's in it, that's what we're focused on, in winning in the next competition.
You talk about, you feel like that performance is coming. Is there belief that it can happen tomorrow? Because you're talking about the mental side of things that might have affected the players on Sunday. The manager was also clearly not happy with, you talk about sloppy passes and things like that going forward. Yeah,
I understand what you're saying, but I think we're all harsh. That's how you improve. I think you can't. I think sometimes results they hide a multitude of sins. Sometimes you don't accept 1-0 until you've got to look at it properly. You analyse it truthfully and honestly. And I think the side have and the group have, and we've spoken about it, and we move on to Wednesday, where we can improve again. And I think they're harsh on themselves. It's a harsh group. It's a hard group, and that's the only way that you get success. You know, that's a way of working. You accept that maybe things could have been better. Of course it could have. But then with clean sheet, 3rd clean sheet on the roll, tough games, it holds you strong. Your foundation of clean sheets is a recipe for success.
You're saying the performances are not far away from coming. You're almost 2 months into the season. Why are they not here already?
Well, I think they are. I think if you look at the game again, I think we've been pleased with certain aspects of the game and the way we've played. I think there's parts of how we combine and how we develop the game and how the manager wants to play football. I think it's in every game we've actually played it. I think Motherwell the other day, they set up really well and they held it back, and we showed some good passages of play and how to build. It's hard to play against a defensive block, and you have to be patient, and I think that's what we're showing. And our combination play in certain times around the attacking third have been excellent. We've looked at it. It hasn't finished with a goal, but I think that will come in the end.
And just in terms of the supporters' reaction that's been touched upon there, were you taken aback by it after a win?
No, not at all. We've not taken aback by it at all. I think when you win they're so excited, and if you lose, they can be, not lose, but if they're not happy with it, they let you know. That's part and parcel of being at Rangers, I think.
What would your message to those fans being here who are feeling unhappy even after that 1-0 win? Just
keep supporting us. They give us great support. I come out every time through that tunnel. It's fantastic. You hear them cheering you, and they will cheer us again tomorrow night. Tomorrow night they'll be cheering the team. You know, so keep cheering us, keep supporting us, and we're actually working for them to be successful.
The fans that perhaps aren't happy with how things have been going this season, how do you get them back on side?
Well, we just keep doing the things we're doing. Obviously, hopefully, we can get our chances and score a few more goals for them. You know, but it's a work in progress, and we're definitely moving in the right direction, albeit at times we might have to take 1 step back and 2 steps forward, but that's what it is when you're building a successful team.
You know, it seems like we're just waiting for this big performance to come from Rangers. If that does come tomorrow night, what do you think that can do, both for the players and for the fans?
Do you not think Real Betis was a big performance? You know, we played PSV, was that not a big performance? 2-2. So we have got them in there. You know, it's sustaining that all the time. It's difficult, you know, but I think we have shown at times that we are going places. We are moving forward without a doubt.
Okay. Any other injuries, team news?
No, it's all the injuries, as I think you've heard, we've sustained Ravi. But when you build a squad, it's we're in 4 competitions. You're going to get injuries, and I think you become a mentality where you have to. That's what we've got. That's the players we've got. We're going to be successful with a group of the players we've got. It gives other people opportunities. Scott Wright come on at the weekend, done outstandingly well for the team, so it's great for him.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right, gentlemen.
Hi,
Yep.
Ox.
I think he was trying to make the point we played PSV and got a 2 weeks draw. I know that we beat them. But the last statement there that Scott Wright was outstanding, GB, I must have missed it. And I'm not wanting to make Scott Wright the cause of all our ills. Yeah, but if that's outstanding, what Bears should be getting a game next week?
I think I was well as packing up my Rangers radio bag, the new Ox, and just handing in my notice if that's the case. If Scott Wright's had a blinding game at the weekend, because I did not see it, and these guys are meant to be, I say, top coaches and all the rest of it, and I don't know. Maybe he's just trying to keep a bit of confidence in Scott Wright since he is kind of back on the park and stuff like that, Ox. But I don't know, you just don't say stuff like that. You maybe say it behind closed doors to give Scott Wright confidence coming into the game and stuff like that. But the fans are not stupid. They see what they see, and Scott Wright certainly know the answer.
Yeah, I mean, he'd one good run, made a decent pass for the goal, and was pretty anonymous. I had a bit of sympathy for him at the weekend, Bridge. I thought it was ridiculous, the position Arsenal would play.
I don't think I said. You must have been the only person in the whole world who had a lot of sympathy for him. I'll tell you. Oh my goodness gracious, his performance is just abysmal. Just abysmal. I just don't see. I hoped like hell when the boy came out that he was going to work out and things like that. But really and truly, I don't even know how many games he's played for Rangers. It's probably not even 20. It's just incredible. He's still there. Top whack. Sorry, he doesn't impress me at all. And the guy I thought would have left Rangers at the close season there was Lundstrom. I thought John Lundstrom was going to go. My goodness gracious, he put on a fine performance, particularly in the second half. I thought he won a lot of tackles, first-time tackles, which is his strength, I think. But seriously, Scott Wright, no, come on. No wonder we're playing the way we're playing. Sorry.
Well, Bridgman, okay, his stats are not far away, really. He's been involved in 83 games for us.
Wow.
Scott Wright. 28 starts and 55. Nice number, that. 55 games as a substitute.
That's unbelievable. Seriously unbelievable. That
8 goals.
He's been here 4 years.
No, 2021, so come February, 3 years, mate.
Yeah, okay. 3 years.
3 years. He started 16 league games, mate. And by the way, in years to come, Port Bear, he'll be the guy that everybody's trying to name in a Seville team. Who's that?
Oh, it's a sad predicament when Banfield's hanging his hat on Scott Arfield. So that's the only name. Scott Wright, sorry. That's the only name he could think on that's, he think to mention. I'd rather play young Bale Rice in there and give youth a chance. Honestly, mate, Scott Wright's, and I know that you slate Rangers players, but he's not the player that we should be thinking we're hanging my hat on this guy, Scott Wright. I don't know why he said that, mate. There's players Bale Rice we're raving about can play that position. I'd rather see youth playing, mate, than Scott Wright.
Yeah, it was strange. I mean, don't let me lie. I don't know if he was the worst. I don't know where to go for Saturday, but that was Neil. Don't try and kid us. We can see through it. You've not helped your gaffer. What you could have said is Scott Wright come in, played a different position, and he's developing. That would have been fair.
Correct.
GB, but no tell us he was outstanding, because nobody in that part was outstanding apart from maybe Butland.
No, I think maybe that's why as well that a lot of folk have jumped on the comment. Oh, it's not so much Scott Wright. I think everybody knows what Scott Wright gives to the team, but saying that he had a good contribution to that game. I mean, like you says, they've made a good contribution to that game. Apart from the goal that obviously got us the other line, but in Butland, obviously, with some of the cracking saves he was making. But no, it just adds fuel to the fire. I mean, and we're trying to. I mean, his coaching staff and his background staff, especially going into an interview like that, you're trying to cool the flames a wee bit. You're trying to maybe G the fans up. He did to a certain extent. See some of the parts of the interview. He was always trying to turn around, just kind of bat it away and move on. He was basically saying, "We won the game. We analysed it. We move on. We've got a big game tomorrow night. We're trying to get to Hampden again and stuff like that." So I think he was trying, but there was just moments, obviously, maybe the inexperience just showed through a wee bit where, like say the Scott Wright comment and other parts of talking about the Motherwell game, saying it was a hard game, Motherwell's hard to break down and stuff like that. Doesn't really wash at home, Ox, against a team that are on a budget a lot lesser than us.
Yeah, but the Motherwell came and we've had worse performances against Motherwell than that in the past. You know, it's the circumstances, it's the whole thing collectively, and how you can win a game and play really, really well and get beaten again. You know, if we'd have been, their goalie would have been outstanding. Bridge, you've hit the woodworks, people are kicking off the line, and they break up the part and score, and it's their first shot of goal. You go, one of the days, but we're not making enough chances, Bridge. I know you like to keep them out, and Neil said it's based on clean sheets. If you don't score goals, you'll never consistently win football matches.
Yeah, that's a universal truth. That is, and I know you're very good with these universal truths, and that's honest. Like, obviously, we have to do something to create the chances for people like Dessers. If he's going to be playing, he needs the ball in a certain way, and if we don't know how to pass a ball to him to get him it, then there's something wrong with the team. What does he do? Does he like to play on his right side, his left side? Nobody knows. The passing is absolutely shocking. Forward passing by our team at the moment. I don't know why. I don't know whether the weather had affected it badly. It didn't look it. But maybe out in the pitch it was slightly different. The weather was bad. But I'm looking for an excuse for my team. You watch some of the play that Motherwell played. Motherwell played some really good football against us. We were woeful. We didn't mark a man. We never saw a space. All these silly things that can go wrong. But you're right. We have to start scoring goals. And we've tried 4 people at centre forward now, and none of them can really score goals. Not in multiple numbers anyway. And even the goal wasn't covered in glory. You know, it was a good shot.
Yeah, let's be honest, it deflected that for Dessers, no? You know,
yeah, absolutely.
You know, Paul, you're a man that studies the tactical side of the game. This playing Sonara and using the other teams at wings and no any creativity out there. What's your issue with it?
My issue with the team has been the same for the start, mate. If I'm Martindale, because of how narrow we play, I'm adopting the exact same tactic as Motherwell, because I think Livy will fancy us, mate, at the end of the day. I think we're still fitting, square pegs and round holes. We're not in a position for Lammers yet. Dessers isn't firing. Our midfield's now lost Cantwell and Raskin. So we're left with Jack and Lundstrom, who are sitters. So creativity, Tom Lawrence's new as well. Creativity is a big, big problem for me. I think Livy will absolutely fancy their chances, mate, because I can't see how he can change this formation to get us up the park, to get us the foothold in midfield, unless he goes to that back three again and gets Tav and Bourne to, bomb forward. And yet again, we're going to have Lundstrom and Jack as your sitters, because we're really, really short now, mate, in that sort of forward creative line. It's probably going to be Seema, Dessers and Roof. That's where I would go with it. But if I was to stick to the 3-5-2, and your width's going to come for your fullbacks.
I don't know, that gives me issues if it's just your fullbacks. Listen, I don't know if Lammers will make it tomorrow night, GB, with the sad demise of David McCallum, the Invisible Man. He might come out in sympathy.
I know. Do you know what, Ox? He's a frustrating player. He showed flashes during pre-season and stuff like that. The boy, he's definitely got technical ability. I think it was at Smurf last night says that he would be a great five-a-side player, and he would be, especially with the feet he's got. But again, Motherwell, like, these boys have came for like the Italian league, the Dutch league and stuff like that. And
have they really?
Well, they've played for clubs in the A-leagues and that. What I'm saying is a high. You would imagine there's a.
Were they regulars for these teams? Were they really regulars?
But the only one I would say was probably a regular was Dessers, because he was the main kind of striker for his team. But even at that, Ox, you would think though, with being in these leagues, they're playing a higher calibre of player, and they're coming to Scotland and they're playing against Motherwell, and they disrespect Motherwell. By the way, they're well organised. That shows you a coach that's got his team organised and they understand their job and their role and all that, by the way. So hats off to them for that, because they did play as a team, considering we didn't. But I just think if we're bringing in that supposedly calibre player, they should be able to handle Motherwell. And let's say Lammers should be a kind of standout, Ox, in these kind of games for me.
Dessers played a total of 29 games last year, I think. 29 games. And scored 7 goals. So, I suppose he appeared. But, Bridgeman, if nobody seems to make a chance, as much as I've been critical of Dessers and he's done a lot of things, he's not been getting a lot of good service or chances made from him. And I'm not saying he's the answer, Bridge, but we're not creating anything.
Well, we're not, we can see, looking at the team and what they're trying to do, their passes, even linking defence to midfield, attacking midfield, that is, the passes are deplorable. The ball is not getting to the man, or it wasn't past him on the side. By the time we manage to get it under control, the chances are all gone, or the openings are closed. It's really difficult to understand what it is our coaching staff are doing with the players in that sense. Something's not right. Obviously, you can see the imbalance in what's happening. I mean, if we start to move over to the right, you're creating these huge gaps down the left, our left. So their wingers could have a field day there against Borna, and vice versa on the right side. We're just unbelievable to watch. Whereas a couple of years ago, we were bombing down the lines. Ibrox Fortress, and we pounded every goal. We pounded it. Maybe not scored among the goals, but we pounded it with pressure. And we're not doing that. That team, Motherwell, were able to play at the back. Their goalkeeper, very settled when he got the ball, and he put the ball down and he would start passing. And he was even available for pass backs, short pass backs, long pass backs, no problem at all. Could pass the ball to the defenders. And I must admit, sometimes we panicking across our back when the ball's there and somebody comes near us. But really, 100%. I can't disagree with anything you're saying on it. Really and truly, I just get upset with the lack of chances and the lack of good passes.
Do you want my take on it, GB?
Aye, mate. Aye, fire away.
And Port can chip in after this. I think we all agree, and anybody who watches is we play narrow and it's deliberate. So when you play like that and you set up like that and you constantly do it, other teams know exactly what you've got to do. And we've been doing this show for a long time, Bridge. And I like Warburton. They try to win football matches and score goals. That team's trouble was they couldn't defend. So they're the complete opposite. But if you do things consistently, unless you're Pep Guardiola with the players he's got to pick, if you do the same things and you play it against teams that are just going to try and stop you, it's easy to stop you if you only do the same thing all the time. And then you throw in the fact is that all of a sudden we miss out the midfield. We play with two sitters who sit right in front of the back two. So when the centre halves get it and the two sitters get it, they go long. So the forwards are spending time running, chasing and harrying. Now that's all right sometimes, Port, to do that as a tactic. They turn teams and move teams, clear your lines, whatever. But is that's all you've got? Wow. Port there.
Yeah, mate. That's I've been watching. We look like a mid-table team that come and play against us. That they sit in, they soak up pressure. And because you've not got any creativity in midfield, you've got Jack and Lundstrom who are holding guys who won't make killer passes. They won't, hit a nice 30-yard, 20-yard ball in behind to get them turning. It goes back to Tav, it goes back to Goldson, or it goes back to Davies, and they try this long ball. Immediately gain up possession to their teammate. That's not the way Rangers play. That's not the way I've even watched us under Gio or Steven Gerrard. This team's going back the way, mate, and see this aimless long ball. Oh, aye, Goldson will hit a 40-yard, ball into feet, and it looks good. But like you touched on, that's good to get teams turning, and it's accurate, and you're trying to hit, a quick counter-attack. That's fair enough. But for me, it happens far too often. We have become so predictable last year. Teams very easily have worked out that we're narrow, so they don't need to worry about wingers. And in the last few weeks, he's tried to now all of a sudden play with wingers with Seaman and Matondo, but it's too late. He should have done that in the transfer window. He was linked with wingers. He should have went and got them, mate, and now he's stuck with what he's got. And I've said it on the show before, he's going to fall on his own sword because he picked these players, and now he's trying to find a formation, which he's struggling today, by the way, to get this team to gel, find a system, find an identity, which he's still not got, and we've turned into, in my opinion, a top six team that just lumps the ball up the park and hopes for the best. That's how it looks to me next year. I know that sounds damning, but that's what I've been watching, mate.
Yeah, but JB, how can you play so well in the second half against real betters?
Belief, Fox, confidence, isn't it? I think that's what the team's badly lacking. I don't think they've got confidence fully in the system. I think Banfield touched on it there in the interview that it's the system's an ongoing process, which is a bit alarming because you would think you'd want to get that process nailed in pre-season, and then maybe a couple of games into the season that you're still kind of bedding in. But if we're getting to this point and Banfield's saying it's still a kind of work in progress, then we are in for a rough ride, Ox, I think. I mean, we're going to have games where we're very up and down, and it's really down to the players to try and get an understanding. Yeah, and unfortunately in our league, you don't get time, Ox, to have kind of ups and downs and stuff like that. You're going to have to kind of get an understanding pretty quickly, get a settled team, and you've got to score goals because, as you've touched on a lot of time, Ox, see, as soon as you get that third goal, the game's done. That's same that the teams that are playing against us come out mere, and again, it could be a cricket score after that. It's so vital to get that second goal because it does, like say the Motherwells and stuff like that, it does allow them to come out to us. So it's very important.
Can I come in there, Ox?
There you go, mate, before we get the phone lines open.
Aye, on just to touch on what Gary and yourself says, if we accept it, we're nearly October. If we going to accept, it's taking 3 months for this team to gel, or shows what their identity is, shows what their system is, their formation. Because next year, guys, I still don't know what it is, mate. Guys, I still don't know what it is, and that's why.
I do know what our formation is. I do know what his tactics are. I can see it. It's as obvious as nose in your face. But whether it's working or not, it's a different question, Portman.
Right, that's what I'm getting at. Like, maybe I've answered. I've asked the wrong question. That's what I'm asking. It's not working next year, and I don't see another plan B. I know he changed it a wee back three the other day, but next year we should be starting to find our feet now, mate. And I know it's 9 new players, and I know it's a new management team. And come on, mate.
How many new players started the game on Sunday?
I think I think it was the same team, wasn't it? But it was the same team as last year. I think only two. Was it two that started?
Yeah, Jack Butland, Dessers. So, and Davis, Golson, Tal, Borner, John Lundstrom, Sirientis. Yeah, Sirientis, 3.
No, yeah, 3. I knew it was very little, mate.
You know, the rest have been there for over a year now. You know,
Which
so
is
if it been new playing and everybody was new and you were trying to get that, you could maybe understand it. But,
yeah.
You know, right, we better get these phone lines open that people don't want to listen to us on HGB, do they?
No, I think what it says, they'll turn to another channel, so we better get the Bears in.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Bridgeman.
Yes, bud.
Right. But no offence to Neil Bamford, he's a guy of a certain vintage, and you know he obviously knows the game, right? He knows the game, but he's not got great experience dealing with the media. Yeah, obviously he's been about, and he was a coach at Arsenal. Done various other things before that, but ended up at Arsenal and coached through the club there, and ended up working with the first team. Now, what level of that is, we don't know. It would only be somebody that was involved with Arsenal at the time. We don't know if he was running all the sessions or he was picking up the bibs and cones. Yeah? But the media side of the game and the perception of your club, we're not being fair in that guy, sticking him out there at this particular time. It's not his bag and it ain't right.
I agree 100%. I think that our manager should be taking every single one of the media things, and our manager should be going to, shall we say, a college to make them understand you're not in the middle of England somewhere, you're in the middle of Scotland, and we're not liked in Scotland by any of the press. You need to watch what you're saying and watch where you're trying to answer, and don't tell them anything. Keep your wits about you, and loose lips sink ships. You just got to get it right. I wasn't happy for the first minute. That really and truly, Oxtear, that the guys in the panel know you don't say anything like that. Why on earth would you say that? It makes you sound like a dunderhead, It just doesn't bear talking about. They need to get some lessons on how to handle the media.
Yeah, I don't think we were fair. And the thing you talked
100%
about trusting the process, GB, that's a Mark Warburton thing. If you twist it, plan A is not working, they plan A better. Plan A is not working, and the other team are stopping you doing it. You have to react. That's the job. That's football. Without that, he's built without a manager at the side of the park.
You see it, and like I says, a lot of the top teams and stuff like that, when you see them in certain games and stuff like that, even I think City the other at the weekend there, when they went down to 10 men and stuff, they adjusted their system. I mean, they weren't stringent to it. Granted, they've got world-class players and stuff like that, but even us, we were coaches and stuff like that, if we're seeing something that's not working, like say the way Motherwell were, and like I says, that first 10, 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes, when you're seeing them come on to us like that, we've got to deal with that. We've got to be ready to change your tactics to kind of stop them from doing that, and then think outside the box of how we're going to attack them when they're doing that kind of play. It's to sit there and like I says, Bamfield touching on it, saying that you just stick with the system, it will come good and all that. You eventually open yourself up to, like he says, maybe creating a loss or a draw. I mean, what I says, Motherwell were very, very unlucky not to snatch at least a draw out of that game, Mox, and it could have flipped. I mean, the boos could have turned into protests and everything. You mean, so it's just they need to watch what they're doing. They need to protect themselves as well in these situations. If they're wanting to shore up and see out a 1-0 result, then they need to make sure they do it properly and just make the fans aware of it. But if they're just trying to stick with a system that's leaving them open, then like I say, the fans are no silly. We're no silly. We see what's on the park and we see the tactics, and that just tells you that the manager's no willing to help himself. And when you get to that point, then the fans can't back that, because if they think the manager's not going to help himself, then what confidence will we going forward?
Rich man, stop it. You've had a few jobs in your time. You had to keep moving. We'll maybe debate that one night. That'd be interesting.
There are reasons. I don't want to say what they are.
We won't mention the welder wire in the hut, right?
Correct. Don't mention that, please.
So I've lost my chain of thought now. If you're in any industry and you're stubborn and things aren't working, it's going to unravel, isn't it?
Well, you're going to find out. If you don't start making it happen and people see you're making it happen, then you're going to get found out. And when you get found out, sometimes there's just no turning back. Before long you'll be walking out the door and you get nothing, get fired or whatever it is they call it nowadays. That's exactly what's going to happen to our manager. I can feel it in my water. I'm not being funny when I say that, guys, and I mean that to all the listeners. Please listen. I'm telling you now. I said it a while ago. Whatever it was, that break, the international break, gave him a wee bit bonus of 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something. And seriously, he's never done anything about it. In reality, he got us a good result in Europe. I must admit, I have to get hats off for that. But my goodness gracious, we're struggling on the pitch, really struggling. And we need to go. It's got to be something. You can't let Motherwell come up and dictate the game is, and us sort of near enough hanging on at the end. Glad when the final whistle went. Well, don't lose a free kick at this minute. That kind of thing. And it's well, I know that the Copeland were really not happy. Not happy.
No. Port Bear, was it Sunday's game, or is that reflection of the games it's been at Ibrox, the league games it's been at Ibrox, which has been Livingston, them, and then obviously Motherwell. Yeah. So we weren't even great against Livingston, even though when you look at the record books it says 4-0.
The thing I touched on, mate, that you the start of the season so far, you've got Motherwell who have been playing well. It's been documented. Livingston's done all right. You've got Aberdeen who's been doing all right, and we're sitting where we are in the league. We need to start turning Ibrox into a fortress again, mate. I don't think there's any team in the league right now that are scared to come to Ibrox or even scared to play Rangers at their own home. And in a lot of the games we've been moving a bit. Our defence been solid. The last specialist 3 clean sheets. We've been moving a bit. Jack Butland. I don't want to rave about him next year. I want him to, Jack Butland to make saves when he has to make him, defence to make the tackles when they have to. I want to be talking about our forward line next year and our midfield to create. That's one of my biggest concerns. But we need to make Ibrox a fortress again, mate, and we need to have teams fearing us. And I don't believe teams actually fear playing against Rangers because the nick we're in and they were so predictable to play against.
Anyway, talking about predictable, we've been joined by old Davy. How are we doing, David?
Evening, Ox. Evening, Bridge. Evening, Port.
How you doing, mate?
I'm doing. What do you say there?
Don't forget Gaz.
Is that right? He has, so I'll forget about him.
I didn't know. I've no long switched on actually, guys. What did you caught that interview earlier for the wee guy? Is he assistant coach or what?
Aye, yeah.
Well, I was just starting to get my blood pressure down to a nice level there after Sunday. What do they give him at these when they're doing these interviews? Do they have cans of Buckfast? You know, to Sam Wally? Because I have never heard so much nonsense for that guy. Even when he does come on at any other time, how can he say that about Scott Wright? That is worrying. I'll tell you, if that's the coaching that we're having to depend on, that's frightening, guys. I'm telling you. I know he can't cover up the cracks and say, well, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, you've got to be a wee bit more reserved and point. That just rattles everybody's cage again. It's ridiculous. That's just my point, guys.
Aye, well, David, we've already touched it. I mean, we worked our way back through the interview. We've had the interview, but I don't think any has disagreed with you. So thanks for the call. Have a nice.
Well, you're a mean machine, Mox. You're a mean machine.
You know that's no true, don't you?
I know, mate. I know, bro.
You know.
That is worrying, isn't it? It's concerning.
I've gave a couple of my thoughts to the lads earlier on. They're too inexperienced as a group to get the Rangers job, and it's all coming to roost the GB. Right.
Aye, it is, Ox. I think that's what shined through in that interview. I totally agree with you earlier, Ox, that the club, it should have been our manager, because you've got to protect these guys as well. Because if press, is Bridgman's touched on, they're just waiting to jump on something. I think even I've seen it in the social already. They've already pulled bits out of the interview and stuff like that, saying that Banfield doesn't understand where the tactics are in the team and stuff. So you can see it already. It's just opened up more negativity than positivity. And to be fair to Banfield, that I says, there was bits in it where he was just trying to brush off with the game against Motherwell. Just say, look, it was a win. We've analysed it and moved on. And we've got to move on. For at the end of the day, before the Rangers, we're in a quarter final tomorrow, and like I says, as much as the team's weakened, we should be the dominant team tomorrow and pushing to get into that semi-final at Hampden, because it's a trophy there to be won.
Bridgman.
Sorry, I missed that one, Ox. Yeah.
It was the point of David made, and we were saying they're too inexperienced to deal with. That's it's all coming in.
Well, the manager, the assistant manager, when he came on, I agreed 100% with David saying to a certain extent, but seriously, we know, and we've now seen it, and we must raise it as a question and say, why on earth are we putting the assistant manager out there? He's got no experience. He might have some experience in talking to the press and so on and so forth, but this is the Scottish press. We're Rangers. We're treated differently. We're held in a different area, and it's very difficult to do it because you trip over your tongue and they'll force you to trip over, and we really need to watch what we're doing. Seriously, I'm not kidding, Ox here. We really need to watch what we're doing. We can't afford. These are massive slip-ups. They're making us look foolish. They really are making us look foolish. The things that the chap was saying were just sounded ridiculous, you know. And I don't want to say too much because he is our assistant coach, our assistant manager.
I don't want to get personal with the guy, Bridge, but you know, it's like the performances.
Yeah, you know, you're right, 100%.
Yeah. It's like the actual games themselves. You critique what's in front of you. Listen, I've nothing against Neil Banford. Don't know the guy, you know. And I've never met him. I've met old Davey. I don't like him, but I have to deal with him.
Hello. Bridge, can I just come in on what Bridge was saying there about? I think the biggest problem. I think you touched on it. I think it was maybe a week ago, and you mentioned that we've not got enough Rangers men in there, and I think that's what's badly lacking. Because that lot just sit there like there's something out you know, the old guys that do the Muppets and all that. And he just sits down and looks at a computer kind of thing. And you need Rangers men in there to tell them to get that and transmit that onto the park. And we're lacking there. And you can hear it when you listen to that guy speaking.
Yeah. You know, also, David, just forgive me, Oxia, I've been saying for a wee while that the press in Scotland, they are not friends of Rangers. None of them.
Well, there's a lot of fan media in there now as well, mate, yeah?
Yeah, I'm not talking about Rangers fan media, we know that. I'm talking about the press itself now, you know, and of course the television stations and the radios. None of them are friends of Rangers, and that's 100% sure. Fortunately, we've got some of the fan media coming in, and they're a lot better. Although you're getting to the point now they're a bit upset the way it's been happening inside Rangers, you know. So we've got sort of two battles to fight there, you know. Rangers need to watch what they're doing, really do, and I'm hopeful that somewhere along the line by Christmas they'll have learned big.
I don't know how important it is to have somebody in that's a Rangers man, if I'm being honest, Davey. I just want a person that's going to do the job. There's a lot of aspects to the job, GB, that you want to do right. There's the team selection, the motivation, the tactics, the preparation, and the media work. It might not be important to them, but this is their passion, their hobby, and things that we somebody spend per hard-earned cash putting in it. Yeah, well, attendance money, should I say, but we put a lot of money into the club, and we just want the club to do well, and we'll put even more money in if it's the right time and the product's right, GB.
Well, that's the thing, Ox, you just mentioned about the product. It's a full package, like you say, is when you're a manager sitting in front of the press, you want them to give a good product out, you want them to a press conference. I mean, we moaned about Gio not giving out enough, and then we moaned about Beale giving out too much and stuff like that. But like that's where maybe Davey's right about having a kind of Rangers guy about. I mean, Gerrard had Walter Smith to touch on. He would go and have a chats with him and stuff like that privately. And I have no doubt that Walter Smith would have gave him the kind of heads up in certain aspects, especially the press. Gerrard was well versed with the press, but considering obviously captaincies and stuff like that they had down in England and that. But I think really we need somebody there in the background just to kind of guide, because like you say, Ox, they are very inexperienced, and I think just a wee bit savvy for folk that have been around the club for a while. It wouldn't do them any harm just to have somebody just in the background. No, even like Souness. See, when Souness was floating about the club and that, it would have been probably good to try and have him to come in and out of the club a wee bit more, just to try and help that side of it. And like I says, I think when you shore that side of it up and you've got a confident squad, understanding a system, then it all comes together, Ox.
Aye, I get it, but I don't know if you heard last night's show. It was Fox. I'm not going to claim this one. It was Fox that made the comment. Well, Michael Beale's the only so-called football man we've got to the club, and he's not played the game.
So true.
There's no connection or nobody between him and the board, and that's no an advert for a director of football. But we'll come back to that. That's the point that Fox made last night when he put it in the lobby, and he's right. And when you look at it, there's nothing. The football, it's a football industry. It's like having a plumber's merchant, and you've got a company and there's no plumbers in it.
Alex, when you look at our most successful season recently, the likes of 55, look at you had Gerrard, you had McAllister, and like I says, and you had guys like Defoe and all that.
It's all right for Beale to do his thing then with these guys, because you've ticked a lot of boxes. Well, come back to that. Good debate, right? Get yourselves on mute, because we're going to have a...
Now there's a pub in Green Street where all good proddies you will meet. So come down here and together we'll have a jab. A welcome there you will receive, so good that you won't want to leave. A fine wee pub is Saltcoats Mermaid Bar. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. We all support the Queen and Crown. The prices here are the best in town. And the bar staff, they are one terrific crew. Everyone laughing, full of cheer. It's one tremendous atmosphere, singing to support the red, white and blue. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. It's nice to come to the Mermaid Bar when Rangers are playing at Tybridge Park. You'll forget your worries and all your cares, singing songs against the Thames before you watch the Rangers win. For everyone here supports the Teddy Bears. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. If you are up from Belfast town, Tyrone, Fermanagh or County Down, Armagh, Antrim or London, Derry shores, the Mermaid is the place for you, so come and have a drink or two. Next time in Saltcoats you'll want to come back for more. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Right, what do you think that? What's GB? What's the what dance you at? The old country dance, what are you thinking?
Was that about the two-step, that one?
Well, I don't know if it was that quick, mate. Yeah.
Bridgeman will help me out there.
Oh, that quick, yeah. I like a wee accordion number now and then. Old boy, old school boy, he loves the accordion.
That was a two-step.
You reckon there was a two-step, do you?
I done a two-step to the toilet and back.
All right. It's unusual if you have your nappy off at this time, do you?
I meant to say, apologies, GB, for no mentioning you, son. I didn't know you were there.
I know you're always in my thoughts, mate.
You're top man.
David, did you get your invite to the Christmas do?
Oh, come, my letterbox is stuffed with them.
All right.
No, I've not got any invitations, but anyway. Can I just put a wee point to you? I know I'll get shot to pieces for this, but on the point about, we're talking about getting a Rangers man in, I know I'm going to get tore to bits here. I would have had Big Duncan Ferguson in there.
Is that just come into your head today?
What do you mean? Oh, I definitely. Of course it did. I would have seen him because I can just listen to that guy and he inspires you. Or he might, it's just something we need on that bench, guys, I think. I'll get shot doing that, but that's just my opinion, that's all. That's just my opinion.
No, I bet you a few people thought that today. I don't think you'd be alone, particularly the day we're getting the Inverness job, and I wish him all the best up there. One of the biggest travesty ever. The way that guy, as a young man, was treated, absolutely ridiculous. But I don't think you would have been alone in having any thoughts today. GB and import.
Oh, Davey, I think you're right, mate. I think, and this might sound cheeky, but I think we are lacking a bit of roughness about the backroom team. You mean, what I mean with that is that guys that will go in there and kind of give them a blast. If you mean, it's like the times when you've seen, I hate harping back to it, but the times you've seen Gerrard come out after press conferences, you knew that he had been in there and gave them a stern talking to. And I think what it says, have a big dunk, but unfortunately, I think Duncan Ferguson doesn't fit their mould. See, when you look at our coaching team and stuff like that, it's all kind of nicey. It's guys that enjoy watching football day in, day out, and they'll put on a league that's probably nobody's ever heard of and watch a game if there was nothing else on. They're the type of guys, and maybe that's what is wrong with the team as well, that we've been signing too many nicey players and stuff like that, instead of looking at our own league and going and grabbing, like, say, a Shankland, like, say, a Nesbitt, even to a certain extent, some a left back, right back and stuff like that. Guys that are just, that will get stuck in and suitable for the Scottish League. Because if you look in the past, a lot of our title-winning teams were built with boys for our league. And it's because, like I says, the moments where you were scrambling about sitting with a 1-0 and the next minute you had a Billy Dodds or a Thompson jump up with a goal. I mean, just to get you out of that line. We're badly lacking that kind of remit, I think, in the squad. We're missing a wee bit.
Port Bennett, we obviously Duncan making the headlines today. I don't think what Davey said, Davey would have been alone in thinking that today. You know, I get where he's coming from. Very unusual for me to say that about Davey, but I get where he's coming from. Bridgeman?
Yes, I'm here, buddy.
Yes. Davey's mentioned something about Duncan Ferguson.
Oh,
he's got a presence, isn't he? In the
well, yeah, he's. I think he's going to make a good go at that anyway. You know, he looked no bad when he was doing his assistant manager at Everton. He was treated with respect by everybody in the game, didn't he? You know, when you talk about getting a Rangers man into the assist lower levels, what we're speaking about, I think that. I thought we would have went with Gordon Smith in. He's a really good diplomat. You know, he used to be the SFA. He knows all the ins and outs. I think he'd be a tremendous asset to our club, but not in a managerial perspective, but an advisor. You know, a really good advisor with the latest what's happening with it. What can we do? What should we do? That kind of thing. I would love that. Someone like him to advise our board and manager. Yeah, I think we need someone like that to do it, because the way it looks now, it doesn't look very good. But that's what I've got to say on that one.
That's a point of fault, mate, that I just brought in before the show, that you've got the three coaches, you've got Michael Beale, and then you've got the directors, and the directors are business people, GB. They ain't football men, they're supporters, most of them like us.
Aye, I mean, as much as everybody's jumped on the bandwagon, talks about like Davy Weir to jump back to Ibrox and stuff like that, we're badly lacking that. We're badly lacking a guy with a bit of knowledge, a bit of contacts, knows the game and stuff like that. I mean, like I says, the board. Was there no Ox? I'm sure that when Wilson was leaving, they were saying that there was a football there was a footballing board, and then you've got our main board at the top.
There's
a
football board, aye, but there's no anybody with football knowledge there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a subgroup. Yeah, it's a subgroup off of the board who just deal with football matters, and then you have the board who have to deal with the whole business, the structure, the Ibrox, any sponsorship. The football boards just deal with football stuff, mate.
Yep. So that football board, is that no screaming out then for this kind of director of football? Like it says, Davies touching on maybe a Rangers guy to slip in there.
Would that work? People will argue with that work. Come and join us. Is that the reason? We need a new director of football. Is it that simple? I don't think it is. But I do think Fox's point's valid. We need somebody as with experience between the board and the management team as a buffer. That's not a director of football's role, but I get your point, GB.
Oh, so I mean, see when you look about who sits in that stand at the games and stuff like that. What about Greg? Do you know? I think they should be leaning on like John Gregg to help Beale and stuff like
that. John Gregg's been out of football for nearly 50 years, mate. Well, 40 years now. 40 years. Yeah.
I know, but do you lose that, Ox? I mean, even like when you're looking at like say guys that are that stature and stuff like that.
Nearly 80 years of age, mate.
Aye, but that says there's boys that are that age are still got good knowledge to give. I mean, even when we're listening here to players of the past, we lean on them to give us kind of guidance on them and stuff. And I think, I'm not saying he's to go and slot in as a director of football, right? But what I mean is like, you just think the new when we're running a wee bit, we're kind of we're trying to get away from the negativity. Do you think like I says everybody we try to pull together and just try and get Beale through this period? Because if he keeps winning and we get through this, Ox, it's probably got to be the most challenging bit of his managerial career under Rangers, I think.
You could go into strength if he gets away with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
I don't know if John Gregg's answer unless they want him to play, Davey.
Well, you know what they say, guys. The older the fiddle, the better the tune. We need somebody to motivate that team. It's not going to happen between now and Wednesday. This is where we are. We've got Wednesday coming up. We've got to get that sorted. What we're talking about is hypothetical kind of scenarios, but we definitely, in the coming months, that's going to try. It's going to be addressed, I think. And if he doesn't get the results, that he might not even be there. If he gets somewhere, he's got a couple of banana skins coming up. Hopefully we can see them off and see all that monkey mob and all with the sheep mob. But we definitely, I honestly can't see him motivating the team. I just don't see it.
Mm-hmm. So you think there's a disconnect then? Is that your
Oh,
point?
you're spot on. You mentioned that a few times, though. Not that you're right a lot, but you were spot on that time when you talked about
that. If you have a lot of punch, you eventually get a few right, Davey.
You do a great. You're top man. You
know, Bridgeman, disconnect. Is a disconnect happening? Is that if you've got the management team and you've got the players and then you've got the fans? Is there a wedge getting?
No, there's been a wedge there for a wee while, and you're talking disconnect. There are major disconnects all over the place. I don't like to say these things because it makes me sound really stupid as well at times, but really and truly, it seems like somebody somewhere has lost the players. The players are not responding. I don't think the players are responding to what the manager's saying in the way the manager meant it in the first place. That sounds a bit mixed up, but that's what I think's happening. I think somewhere along the line, somebody's been telling the players a different story for the manager's telling them, or indeed the players just don't want to listen to him, because it's really appalling at times, you know. I don't want to be too negative in that sense, but yeah, there's a disconnect. Disconnects all over the place for me, Oxford.
Right, we better focus on this game tomorrow night, right? We're struggling. Bad news about Matondo being out injured, because he's been one of the slight shining lights at Port Bear.
He's been a ball carrier, as you said. He's been a guy that's got some, important goals. He's looked dangerous. And in that forward line, he's created as well. And as I said, every time he carries that ball, he can carry his 40, 50 yards out of the pitch. And my worry now is, mate, who does that job? As I said, I think we're easy to play against. I think we're predictable to play against. And if I was V Martindale, mate, I would fancy my chances. I'd fancy my chances against us because we're a wounded animal. And we've still not got a system and a formation that's working yet. I think we're every team that plays Rangers, mate, will have a thought in their mind. I'm having a go here. Have a go. What we got to lose? And we know when teams open up against us, it's different. Last showed against Batiste. But I think you might see more teams playing against Rangers this season, mate, that will go, I'm having a go here because this team are vulnerable.
So the tomorrow night's team are down to the bare bones, GB, yeah. So in goal, obviously before him, Jack Butland should start, but I don't know if he's a certainty to start in this qualified of the League Cup. You never know. What's your thinking?
I think Beale certainly has to go with his strongest team available, Ox. No matter what's coming at the weekend, I think it's got to be Butland. Like I says, he's dug us out a few holes now. And then it's got to be Tav, Golson, Davies, and Borna at the back. Midfield for me would be Jack, Lundstrom, and Cifuentes.
Who's creating the chances for midfield, GB?
I would push Lundstrom up. He would be the one for me.
But when's he ever done that, mate? When's he ever made a slide rule pass or beat a man and played a 1-2 with somebody? Yeah.
In fact, Ox, see, thinking about it, it would probably be Jack, because Jack's been that kind of player before for Beale, where he's moved forward. He's had, remember, like there was that period. Gerrard's era.
How many goals has Ryan Jack made? I'm being serious here. How many goals?
No,
where's the creativity?
I know, but I'm only going on what I says, like what I've seen in the past with Ryan Jack, and then obviously going on with what we've got available. I think if you're going to do it, it's got to be Jack, because like I says, he has scored for midfield and stuff like that. He had that wee period he was scoring for fun during that 55 season.
How many goals do you reckon Ryan Jack scored in his Rangers career, mate?
10. But we're not looking for him to be the ones that scores the goals, Ox. I'm just meaning he's got to be the only one. I mean, Cifuentes is meant to be this player, Ox. Cifuentes is meant to be the guy that's the creator. But he's dreadful. I mean, that's another thing that's caught the manager out with turning around saying that he was got to take us to the next level. That's came back to bite him big time. I mean, because I'm sorry, Cifuentes has been shocking. Anyway.
Started off okay, and then he's got worse and worse, hasn't
he? He's not showing that, what I say, he's that kind of attacker. But he was meant to be the one that was in there with Raskin. There was got to be them that would be changing about each other with the creativeness and stuff like that and bringing up play. You've got to go with, because that's the only ones that's going to be available. And then, like I says, up top, you've got to have Lammers. I would put
JB, who's done it. How many goals do you reckon that Ryan Jack scored in the 55 season?
5.
1. When
was that period he was scoring all the goals? Remember he was on a blinder at one point where he was playing that midfield?
He scored 14 goals in total, mate. And he's been with since 2017. So it's an average of just over 2 goals a season, mate. So you must have been on the glue when all this happened, no?
I think I'm on the glue of the night, mate. I've maybe been just trying to grasp at straws to find a player that's got to turn into Pele or something like that up front of us, mate.
I get what you're saying, mate. We're down to the bare bones, and there's not a lot of options in the midfield and the forward there. I get your point, mate.
I'm grasping for moments that's probably stuck in my memory to think that these guys have got to show up tomorrow and run out of the top of Livingston, but I'm just probably just chucking an experience in there, Ox, and just picking out what's his moments I can remember that were actually good.
Sorry.
He stole my stash, Oxgear. He stole my stash.
Oh yeah, an apology, GB. That was the Seville year he scored one goal, and that was the Scottish Cup final goal. Yeah. The year before he scored double that.
All right, so he's been on fire then. Not. Aye, oh well.
Who's your front players?
Got to be Roof and Seema and Lammers for me, Ox. That's my free, so it'll be a 4-3-3.
How are you playing that? Where's the width? Lammers
out right, and Seema out left, and Roof in the bang in the middle.
Oh, Lammers out right. I must have missed that. Ranchard's got a lot going for him, you know. But goals going to him. Right, okay. We're down to the bare bones, and Port Bear, have you to think about this? The start 11 is going to be tomorrow night.
I'm going to change it a wee bit, mate. I'm going to go with a back three: Davis, Goldson, and Suter. I'm going to have Tav and Borna, with my middle two of Lundstrom and Jack. And I'm going to go with Dessers and Seema playing half on, mate.
Right, one more player, mate.
I'm trying to think who's left. Do you know something, mate? I would go with a wee bit of youth just for legs in the middle of the park. I would give young Bailey Rice a start.
How are you playing him, but?
I'm going to make young Bailey Rice a link man, mate.
Right.
Give him that role. Being the link man. Just because of legs and what I've seen him is he's got an eye for a pass, mate, and he does like to run beyond the strikers, so just through youth and because of what's left, I'd like to see Bailey Rice get a restart in that cup match, mate.
All right. Did I think about it, Bridge?
I don't really know how he's going to play.
We're doing the bare bones, mate, eh?
Aye, so it is bare bones. I think that we can get the team that finished the game the other night, or the weekend there, and we probably have to go with that. But yeah, I think to go 3-5-2 tomorrow night, I think I want 3-5-2. I always like it. I think it's a great setup. But I don't think we should go that way tomorrow night. I think we should go 4-3-4 or whatever it be. 4-3-3, sorry. And the defence as it was, you know, I think that the boy Davies and Golson are having a fine form. And if you wanted to, you could always do what you did in the second half. Push Tav up a bit and stick Big Suter at right back. And it gives you a bit of defence if you want it. But really, we're at Ibrox and we're playing what is to all intents and purposes quite a poor team. And it's a cup game. So we need to get in there and get tore in and just win it. We really do. It's as simple as that. We really go and win it. But I don't know who you're going to play and where we're going to play, because I just can't see what the fitting of the forward line at the weekend there didn't work. It didn't work at all. I don't know if you're going to play Dessers. Sometimes Dessers doesn't look even interested in playing. But Seema wants to be interested, and he's fast. So I think I would pay Seema I would play Seamer out in the left for me, and Roof in the middle. I'm assuming none of these guys are injured, and none of them.
It's early yet, Rangers are nearly 24 hours to the game starts.
That's true. That's true. But as long as they're not injured, then they should go in. And what can you say? Roof and Des is two up the middle, as far as I'm concerned. Let them go on with it. And Tav's going to bomb down the right, as he usually does. And I don't know if Borna. Sorry?
Sorry, on you go with it, sorry.
No, please carry on, pal, please.
We're just going to ask Ox what his was.
What my team would be, or what I think the team will be, what you're asking, two different questions.
What do you think the team will be?
I think he'll go with Jack Butland because it's a big game, but in normal circumstances he would have a rest, but I think he's so infused and he's so he'll play, and I think he'll go with Tav, Goldston, Davis and Borna. And if you look at the midfield, if you're really honest about it, GB's right. We have very, very little options. I don't think he'll bring in young Bailey, even though, some people say if you're old enough, if you're good enough, you're old enough. I think he'll go with Lundstrom will start because he's been arguably the last 2, maybe 3 games, he's been my best outfield player. And that's not a big compliment to John, but they're the piece. Savientes, who started okay and wasn't great on Sunday, like a lot of our players, So where else do you play in there? You have nobody pointing at Diamond. Will they play Scott Wright in that same position again? Will they play the Lammers in front of them? So that's your 4-2, and then your 3. So then you could have Roof and Seamer wide the Lammers, and then Dessers right up top. Now, at the moment in time, there's no way you would select Dessers on for him. But that's all we've got at the moment. And what have we got? We've got Carroll, Raskin, injured, Matondo, Danilo. Who have I missed out? Anybody else? Lawrence, yeah. 5 players, we're down to the bones. I thought we had a big squad, but it doesn't look like it if you look at it, Davey.
Yeah, you're right. I think that myself. I'm saying we were talking about it earlier, a wee while back. We've got a big, good squad this time, but it doesn't look like it when you see how many's out. In regards to Ramora, I wouldn't play Barisic. I think he's chucked it. I don't think he's run out his contract, and I put in that one, and I would take out Wright. The other two they should take out of that starting 11 and change it for what we spent. You can't start with that team as he had on Sunday. That would be a nonsense.
It's going to be interesting, GB, but we haven't got a lot of alternatives, really.
We've no Ox, but like I says, the players really need to step up the more Ox. We've got a semi-final to get to. And like I says, these players that have kind of been just trudging by and going through the motions and stuff like that, it's time for them to all to step up tomorrow night and get themselves to a semi-final. Ox, there's no excuse. I mean, Livingston have not had much rest either going into this game. We're at home. I do believe we've got a far better squad, even though we're down to the bare bones. And I'm looking for a win and a performance tomorrow. Ox, I want to see them go out and grasp this. I mean, I want this to try and kick on the squad. The negativity is draining on the fans, and like I says, I want to see a bit of spark tomorrow night. I want to see a team that's hungry to win things this season, and and it's got to be shown tomorrow night. I think if Beale's got any chance of getting the fans back on side, a small percentage, he's got to go out and get that team fired right up and get some early goals and get a convincing performance. And like I say, he just needs to try and manage it through this period, and hopefully the tide will turn for him.
I asked this question last night. I don't know who's making all the noise. If we win this game 1-0 in extra time tomorrow night, it's all but gone through. Then we win 1-0 at the weekend. Is the pressure relieved or mount? What better?
I believe it mounts, mate. I believe you mentioned the other night. I believe Michael Beale's on a sort of game run. I think if he doesn't get a good result tomorrow night, or it's a turgid game where we get through, but maybe we get through just, and then again there's no improvement in the weekend, mate. I still think his jacket's on a sugary peg, mate. I think the board are looking at it game to game.
So you would,
but I think they're positive.
Get ready. I'm being devil's advocate. You would get, if we won Wednesday 1-0, you would get rid of a manager who's won 5 games at a trot and no conceded a goal.
I'm not saying I get rid of him. That's what I'm saying. What I was about to say was I think the board and the guys above him need to have a word and try and find out next year what his plan is and where we're going, because I'm asking that question. I've not seen an improvement from week 1 to where we are now, and I still can't figure out what he's trying to do on that pitch. Players look disinterested. There's a lot of things and it's only my opinion, by the way. There's a lot of things just not gelling together, and I mean that for team performances. The coaching squad look a bit disjointed and lost. And I think somebody has to ask that difficult question upstairs. Look, what's going on? What is happening? Because your first 6 months from Christmas to the end of the season, we were all positive. We all thought, right, this is a guy to take us forward. And it just looks like the wheels are coming off the bus for me next year. And I just don't see any improvement yet, apart from, as I say, PSV 2-2 in the Betis game. League form, mate, as I said, nobody's scared of us.
All right, David, that's bizarre if we win 1-0 tomorrow night, even in extra time, and then we win 1-0 on the weekend. One of the games since we come back, we're in Europe. Our league form's improved because we've won 4 in the bounce. We're in the semi-final of the cup, but the pressure's going to mount. And how have we got ourselves in this situation?
Well, I'll tell you what my thoughts are. I'd bite your hand off if we won the next 2 games. I don't care if it's lousy performances in the next 2 games. We get these 2 games out the road and get into the semis, get 3 points, get some of the injured players back. That's the way I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Get these 2 games out the road and get the wins. I'll bite your hand off for that.
Do you think the pressure would mount if the performances?
No. The pressures are always going to be there till we see some light at the end of the tunnel. But if you want to give a guy any kind of a break, it's the players that are missing is massive. But the problem we've got is the ones that are coming in are not doing it. So if we can win, get that game in, get the semis, beat Aberdeen, and they're on decent form, get these 3 points, that'll be massive.
Aberdeen on decent form. They've won 2 games.
I know that. But their tails are up a wee bit. Their tails are always up when they come to us, but...
Yeah, they've won 2 games all season. Ross County there at the weekend and Stirling Albion, and we're worried about Aberdeen. Right, okay. I get it, Davey. I get it. You're not alone, but look, GB, what's your rationale? What's your thinking? devil's advocate. We won 1-0 both games. Extra time tomorrow night. Wow. During that storm, everybody home to stay away.
Ox, I'm probably one of the few. I'm a bit like Davey, just wanting to get through these games. If it's as long as it's wins, and like I says, we're just having to soak it up now. You're just hoping the tide turns. I don't like it that the manager's living on the kind of game-to-game basis, but like I says, if he keeps winning, then hopefully eventually the pressure will start to subside with players coming back. Hopefully performances will come. But we just need to stay in competitions in the Ox. That's the main thing, and hopefully take the...
I get it, mate. All right, we'll be joined by Bob J. Evening, Bob J. Cheer us up,
Aye.
Evening,
Ox.
That was a joke.
You want a joke? A joke, by Christ, I don't know. I could tell you a few, but no on a family show. I'm just teetering on the brink here. No, I'm not going to do it. Right, positive side, we went through a week there. Quite a pedestrian performance at Perth. Clean sheet against Real Betis, clean sheet against Motherwell, although the performance wasn't up to standard. Here we go into a cup quarter-final tomorrow night that we are expected to win, and I expect that we will win it. And then we're going to go into this battle the 4 times a year, another 4 times a year on Saturday, and I think we can win that as well. So it's no all doom and gloom. I would want it to be better, of course we are. And I believe it will come, it will get better. It's got to get better, simple as. But I'd see the point where we're defeated in the 3 games, or drew, or shut some shit points, but no. We're in no bad place. Let's go again tomorrow night. We've said that enough this season. We've got to produce a good bit of consistency for here on in to have any hope of winning trophies. Let's hope the injuries clear up quick, get everybody back and firing. And that's about my take on it. It just so cuts overall what the guys have probably been saying all night.
And you come, Bridge. That's what Bob J. GB.
Aye, well said, Bob J. There probably is too much negativity. I mean, it's granted because of the performances, and obviously fans are worried, especially the way we have started in the league and stuff like that. And there's been other performances, like I says, it's been more so the Old Firm game. It's kind of put the fans right in a downer. But again, the only way to right the wrongs is by winning games. And like I says, tomorrow night, teams got to show a bit of spark, a bit of fight to show that they can get into a semi-final and want a trophy. For me, Bob J, they've got to, like I says, go out there, convincing performance, take that confidence into the weekend, and like I says, just get through these games, and hopefully when the moment comes again in the league where we can claw the points back, we take our opportunity.
Well, exactly. I mean, like I say, we didn't ship anything. We beat a really good Real Betis side. That's a big plus for us. Like, we were all joyful here last Thursday night, and then it all went flat again on the Sunday. But we did win. I could hear the boo boys at the end. I didn't blame them. But I mean, they've got Beale and his staff are standing on a precipice here, and he's still in charge of it. He's still in the job. His staff are still behind him. Let's get behind the manager. Let's get behind the team. Let's show a positive attitude, everybody. And if we do, I'll maybe reflect in the games. It'll move on to the players on the park. So it's not been good. It's not been great. But at the end of the day, we've still got results here the past 7 days, 8 days. Let's do it again tomorrow, and we should.
Port Vale.
I mean, listen, I'm always, positive a lot of times. I've just got to call it how I see it. There's a lot of times I've noticed so far, see some of the issues, mate, they're self-inflicted. It's been mistakes, it's been short passes, it's been defensive errors. As I said, teams look disjointed. And as I said, touched on earlier on, far too many changes in the starting lineup, mate, with no consistency. And this was even before we got the injuries. There's still no formation. And sometimes I think, like I said earlier on, I think Michael Beale at times looks lost, as well as his management team. So a lot of it for me is self-inflicted. But I agree with Bob here and Gary in that saying we have to turn the corner at some time. But we're more influential, forward-thinking players. We're creators, the guys that give us the spark. We're going to be without him for a number of weeks. You know what I mean? So, like you touched on, we can only use what we've got, and effectively, if we go with Cifuentes, Lundstrom, and Jack midfield, where does the creativity come? It's got to come through with full-backs, Seamer, Roof, supplying for Dessers. That's the only sort of way I can see it going. But I just think we need to cut out the self-inflicted problem we're giving ourselves, i.e. individual errors, which has cost us a lot, mate.
If you take the PSV away game, we haven't shipped a lot of goals, Paul.
No, I understand that, but what the goals we have shipped have been individual errors a lot of times next year. You know, not clearing the lines, you know, not covering back posts, which is a big problem we had. And as I say, when short pass in the midfield, just not getting that pass bang on correctly. You know, so as I say, we're not getting ripped apart. I agree with you there. We've not been ripped apart by teams apart for the PSV game. You know, but if we can manage to cut these individual errors out, we'll give ourselves a chance in every game.
Aye. My problem is, I think with Buckland being there in the defence, it's no iron cutting, Bob J, but we're no scoring enough goals, and I keep saying it. You score goals, defending gets easier.
That's very, very true. The lack of chances, the lack of open chances is frightening. Another thing it gets to be defensively. You see the room some of these people are getting wide. You know, we're getting caught up the park. It's the same old failings, and it's got to be addressed. But as far as scoring goals, no. You'd expect Rangers to be scoring 2 and 3 against these teams at home, as they always have done. And they're powder puff. They're toiling up front. Toiling badly, I may add. That goal was...
Anyway, I'll cut across you, Bob J. We've been joined by one of the roving correspondents this evening, the outside broadcasting unit. Evening, Albert.
Nice one. Outside broadcast.
What an introduction.
He's dropped to man. Him and technology. We're going to have to send him in a course with you, Bridge.
Yeah, it's difficult, but can I just agree with the chaps that were saying? I don't know if anyone would be confident in picking the team. You look at the guys that are injured, and there's like 4 of them, and that's 4 of our best players in the club. 4 of our best players in the club are injured and unavailable, and that's it. Really, really difficult for Rangers. Really difficult. Okay, we've got another. What's the guys able to step in and do, but not the same manner. Look, there you go.
Joined by the outside broadcasting unit, the one and only Albert. Evening, Albert. Oh, he's dropped to it again.
Technology.
Are you there?
Oh, yes, Albert, are you there?
Oh, aye, we're here.
Oh, it's a new bromance for you, is it? You're all better tonight. Big Stevie will not be happy with you, boy.
I know, but Albert hadn't seen Capo in 50 years.
How did the game go? Give us a report or 2 years.
I thought they played well in the first half. There was a few good players. Lovelace, Lyle, and the wee boy McCausland were the picks of the first half, and Archie Stevens. But they played well in the first half, finished 1 each at half time. Second half, Alwa were more in the game actually. They took more of the game to Rangers, but ended up running out of 4-1 winners. So it's a good display with some of the young boys. The weather was horrendous, mind you, but it was a good display.
Albert, give us your thoughts.
Scotland's ready. Telling you right now.
6 months to a year, that boy's ready. A couple of bags of chips and a couple of days in the gym, he's ready to go. Good player, that boy. Really good player. Enjoy watching him. The other wee boy I know at number 10, what was his name, Lucy? Aaron Lyle. Aaron Lyle. Cracking wee player, mate. Cracking player. I enjoyed it, by the way. Anybody wants a treat and go out of the depression we're all in, go and watch the B team. They play better than the first team, I'll tell you that.
Oh dear, what are you doing? You're just driving by Bishopton?
No, we're in the housing scheme. We've came the other way. We don't know where we're going now, by the way. I've got a hill. I've got a hill somewhere in Great. That Portland, Portland, south of Great here.
Aye. I hope you don't get through the sport. You're missing your watch and your alloys, boy.
I brought a spare set, mate.
You get lost.
So where
don't
are
want
you?
to stop the motor about it. Well, we don't want to stop the motor too far down here. The wheels will get whipped off it. We're nearly at Port Glasgow. We haven't a clue, mate. Aye, that's the main road. Just turn right.
Oh, I'm going to need to get this more bit out of steering.
The time you get here tomorrow, we'll catch you for the get. You better hurry up, you'll miss a kick off tomorrow.
I'm glad I brought a rear gunner anyway. I've got a rear gunner here, by the way, so we're all right, we're covered. It's all right, we just went a wee detour onto the main road. Right, aye, go right, aye, we're off. That's us, all roads to Glasgow.
Right, we'll let you go. Thanks for calling in and hope you enjoyed your evening, yeah?
Oh,
so cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. At least we've seen a victory, 4-1. Attacking play, passing, movement. It was a joy to watch.
Simple game, mate. Simple game.
If we had a co-pilot, we'd go set. I think he's got a new pal, Albert. He was having a chat to the young boy Divine, so they were nearly getting selfies together.
Did you tell me you're a fan of his granddad?
Aye, over. She's danced a few slow ones to your granddad's tunes, I'll tell you that.
Right, catch you.
Aye, no bother, mate, no bother. Right, catch you tomorrow. Right, cheers, bud. See you later, guys.
Bye.
Cheers.
The two of them, I went down to Capello to watch the B team. See, they enjoyed it. 4-1 victory tonight. I knew they were doing that. They'd phoned me earlier on. So I were going to phone in with a quick report. So it's no odd doing going, Davy.
Oh, that's what you call Rangers supporters, too. To go in a night like that, unbelievable. And to get lost into the bargain. Fantastic. I just watched wee Lowry putting Hearts into the semi-final of the Cup. What a goal he scored. I'm telling you couldn't make it up.
How do you get lost up here? It's one straight road in and one straight road out, man. Come on.
No, nah, mate, it wouldn't be right for me to slag my friends live in air, would it, GB?
Go for it, Ox.
I've got a film coming out next week there to Dumb and Dumber.
They're in a boat going down the Clyde.
You've got to laugh, Briggs man, but fair play. I'm going down to watch the B team on a night like this.
Wonderful to hear what they're doing. That's great, you know. Really, well, we should all be able to do it, but I can't. Some of us can't do it. But I'm going to take my hat off to them. Marvellous. Well done.
I think they were doing that because they didn't have a power card between them, GB.
Quite possible. But Ox, like you says, mate, it's good that they've went down, and again, they've probably seen things that we want to see in our team tomorrow night. We want to see a 4-1 result. We want to see attacking play, and we want to see a bit of flair in amongst there as well.
I noticed that they never mentioned the boy Bailey Rice, so that would suggest to me, Port, that he's in the squad for tomorrow night.
That's my thinking, mate, because like I said, I do think we're short in there. And having seen some of the wee cameos he's had, he looks like that wee sort of player that can do that job of linking up, you know, midfield to front. He's got some great quality to learn off of. at the club. So, the boys highly thought of. I just think just because it's a cup game, mate, you might see him start. That's just my opinion, mate. You just might see him start because I think if they play Fuentes and Jack, or Fuentes and Lundstrom, or Jack and Lundstrom, you'll still need that spare holding man, mate, to come on. So that's why I think Bielitz will start.
That's a good shout.
You think the same, Judge?
Yeah, I think the youngster should play. He came on, he was fearless when he came on. I thought he did very well. Maybe only got about 20 touches if you're lucky, but he didn't in the end rank, and but he's only 16. My goodness gracious! What future he's got if he can stay in our team and see it all through. It'd be wonderful. But maybe that's the way we should be going, getting the youngsters in.
I'm not saying he's the next Wayne Rooney, but he's certainly got a build about him at the same age, Bridge.
Yeah, absolutely, bud. Absolutely.
Which is important in a modern game. But right, Davey, Bob Jer first. Bob Jer, how do you think it's going to go tomorrow night? Give us your thoughts.
Well, we're up against an ordinary Livingston side. The manager, what's his name, Martindale, he's trying to struggle away. They've got the lowest budget in the league. So with a bunch of big laddies, we've beaten them 4-0 already. I didn't care when the goals come. The goals did come. And we should win it. I'm not going to say easy, but I'll go 2-0 Jersey tomorrow night. By the way, Ox, I thought the guys were in Allow. I was so sorry for them.
All right. No, they were in Greenock, mate.
Well, the media drove round all the invalid buggies. Yeah, it's a shame for them.
If they were in Alloa, Bob Jer, I would have arranged for them to come and get you.
Oh, they could have come down here. They could have come down here on Friday night. That'd have been fine.
No, Bob Jer.
That'd have been fine. But I think I'll take it 2-0 Jersey tomorrow night. I think we'll win.
I wouldn't have inflicted that on you, Bob Jer. They two for the night.
But as long as you brought a carry out with them, they'd be right enough.
Small doses, mate. Small doses.
This is where a window cleaner goes about with a sander.
All Davey.
Aye, very, very hard to predict after Sunday. Oh, it's just it's a matter of who turns up. See, that's where I am. Who turns up? If we turn up, we'll win. But it's not a cakewalk by any means. I'm confident we'll get through. Hopefully.
All right, okay. So we're getting through. It's a cup tie. Port Bear.
I'm going to a hard fought 2-1 victory Oxford.
Hard fought 2-1. Yep. All right. Okay. All right. What are you thinking, Bridgeman?
I actually agree with Port. I think it's going to be a really, really tough game, and we'll make it tough of ourselves. I think, unless there's some magical happens, some miraculous thing happens, and we end up waltzing it 4-0, 5-0. I just don't see it. I don't see us. I think we'll struggle to get our game together, and hopefully we do enough to get the victory and not get booed off the park. Please, Rangers fans, don't boo them off the park tomorrow night, please. What can I say other than that? I think we're going to win. I would always go for my 1-0, as you know. Yes. I think I agree actually with Port Bear. Probably 2-1.
What are you thinking, GB? You're always positive.
I think the more it's got to be a convincing 2-0 victory. I think it'll be a goal either half, and I think it'll be a controlled performance. I think the way the defence has been playing, to be fair to them, I think they'll be able to handle what Livingston throw at them, and it's all about our forward play tomorrow for me, Ox. If the forwards click into gear and that midfield link well, can only see one winner, Ox.
All right. Listen, obviously there's some bad weather coming in. I hope that doesn't affect the football. I hope we can we get a game where it's not a leveler, and Rangers can go on and score at least 2 goals, maybe 3, and start lifting some of this gloom, because obviously the only way to do it is to have results. GB, in it.
Aye, Ox, much as the old saying is, points make prizes, wins will make prizes for Beale now. It's the only way the fans have probably got to get back inside and get a bit of confidence in them. Same with the players. If they keep seeing wins, and they might start to believe in the system a wee bit more, might get a better understanding. But it needs to come tomorrow, Ox. It needs to start coming quicker. And like I says, hopefully the weather, like you says, doesn't dampen what we're expecting tomorrow. Just go out there and get a win and get to the semi-finals.
I see what you've done there, a wee pun there, damping. Yeah, I see that, I like that. That was quite good. Did you mean it?
Of course, not.
Did you mean it?
No, not at all. I'm not as clever as that.
Right, just Rice, Canyon, Divine weren't they involved with the B team tonight, so they might be involved tomorrow night with the squad. Right, okay. Bob J, Davey, thanks for the calls, Ben.
Welcome.
Yep, to Rangers Radio's finest, both of you, even you, Davey.
Thank you.
Yep. Last word for Port Bear. Make it brief.
Aye, mate, thanks very much for having us on. Thanks to you, all the calls. Gary, cheers, my man, as always. Good night, good discussions, good debate. Thanks, Ox.
Cheers, mate. GB.
Yep, Ox, again, good show, good debate with all the subjects tonight. Big thanks to the boys, like say, Bridgeman, Port and yourself. Cheers.
Bridgeman.
Oh, magic night. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah. Thanks to yourself and, of course, your techie boys in the background and the 2 magic guys carrying me through this, JB and the Port Bear. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, tomorrow night, biggest game of the season is upon us. Don't worry about that. It's upon us. Everybody, I'm going for 2-1. Let's hope it happens. Keep it going for the Rangers, everybody. Please, keep it going, because they need us.
Thanks to Dave and Bob Chair for joining us. Of course, the one and only All Ben and Southside, the outside broadcasting team, for joining us and giving us a quick report on the B team. Thanks to Port Bear, GB and Bridgeman for doing the show, Fox and All School Blue for doing the technicals. Everybody out there on all the platforms. Yeah, we're all hunting, but tomorrow night's the time to get behind the team. Thanks for listening. Stay safe for that storm tomorrow. Take it away, All School Blue.